Hello, everybody. It's Connie. I'm just getting set up here with my comments, hoping I can see them today because it's always a challenge lately. Anyway, I thought I'd take a break from a little bit of Christmas and work on some fall. I am thrilled. It is fall. It is full on fall. The trees turned colors like overnight. We got like a big frost and it's supposed to get really cold this weekend, which is even better because then, you know, no bugs. Anyway, thanks for watching. I so appreciate it. It makes it a lot more fun when I know that there are people interested in what I'm showing. I'm telling you. And so scrapbook layout is today. I'm doing a 2-page layout and I'm using up my papers. Look at me. I am down to 4 papers left in this pack plus scrap. And I love it all. It's all beautiful. And I just can't get enough of it. I debated on buying more, but then I was like, what am I saying? I'm always trying to use it up. I don't want to store it for another season. The other thing that I'm using today is this Earthen toned metallic cardstock. It's hard to see in the package, I suppose, but it is, excuse me, so incredibly gorgeous. And so I've been using it as well because it matches these papers perfectly. Okay, sorry, I got Moose distracting me here. Hold on just a minute. One thing that happened with all this fall stuff, my allergies have been just crazy. I never really had allergies until the last few years. And now I'm like, gosh, enough already with the allergies and the sneezing. And anyway, these are the stamp sets that I'm going to end up using on my pages today. The More Than Autumn, which is on last chance, and I don't know how long it'll last, but while it's here, I'm using it. I love it so much. Hi, Christy. Yeah, that paper is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. The Alphabet a la mode dies are the dies that I'm using for my title. And yeah, I'm putting a title on today, which is rare. And I'm also using these Just a Note dies. Now, these are those ones that I fell in love with from the start. And I've only used them a few times. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? These are, for me, like, I couldn't live without them, so I need to use them, right? And then I dug into my stash for a few embellishments. I have, okay, this is crazy. I don't know how old this is. Remember the Prima flowers, like the paper flowers that are shaped? Well, they had leaves. These have been in my fall stash for several years. People. I don't like to store stuff like this, so I thought this matches that paper so perfectly. I'm totally going to use it. You could totally make your own leaves and things, you know, with stamps or whatever. The other thing that I grabbed that I thought was kind of fun is these little paper clips. They kind of go with those Just a Note dies, and these are the paper clips that were from that Halloween treat kit, and I was like, these are way too cute to give away to a bunch of trick-or-treaters. I will find them all over my yard because they'll be ripping them off and digging in to get the candy, and this will be trash. I'm like, no. These are adorable. So I held these back out of that kit and did something else to anchor those treat bags shut. So I'm using those today. So the first thing I wanted to do, I was going to do my own thing, but then I thought, ooh, let's do a sketch. So this sketch right here is from Close to My Heart. It is from the Make It From Your Heart Volume 5. And I absolutely love this. These books were amazing. If you have any, you totally know what I'm talking about because they show you like what size, how many papers of different styles, what size to cut everything. And this is the one that I'm using today. It shows you how to put everything on. I'm just going to use it as a general guide. So I'm going to set it off to the side and it's my guide. The first thing is you need a base page, and I decided to go with brown. Not much of it shows, only the bare edge, and you could gut this, and I've done that often, but I'm not going to today. And then this is vanilla, very vanilla, I think. And I cut it down to 11.5 by 11.5. See, so only 1/4 of an inch is going to show around the edges of these pages. So, I just thought there's no reason to, honestly, I could gut this paper. The other thing I want to do to start with, there are some bare spots, kind of lots of white space up here in the corner and a little bit over here. I thought it might be nice to do some spattering with ink, and I want to do that before we get started. So I'm just going to put a little bit here and a little bit here, not very much. Now I normally have my spatter box, and somebody tell me where it is because I put it somewhere, and do I know where it is? No. So I've got these paper towels I'm fiddling with. I had a bunch of scrap paper towels that I've been messing with for a while, and I have early espresso ink that I'm putting on here. How are you doing today, Denise? I haven't seen you for a little while, and I'm gonna spritz that with water. I have issues today, I think, with some of my internet. So I hope I'm not freezing up on you, but it does happen once in a while. All right, more water. I'm gonna flick. I feel like that is not working very well. Like I want it darker color and I want it bigger. So hold on a minute. Hold the phone. I'm gonna I'm gonna use a different paintbrush. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. All right, so I have some spatter on that corner. A lot of that will be covered up. And then in this bottom, just a little bit. And I'm just gonna set that aside while I clean up my disaster zone here. One thing about the glass mat is it is like, boom, clean, right? Boom. That's amazing. And let me put my paintbrush away. Okay, so I have my two pieces and I just need them to dry for a moment. And let me just, I'm going crazy with the not seeing comments. Yeesh, it's driving me nuts. I am going to go ahead and attach these pages. So let me just put some adhesive down. And get going with that. Here's the first one. I'm trying to get my act together. I feel like this morning all I did was constant errands. We were, I had all my labs due today and stuff. And then I had to do some errands for my dad. Why is that not wanting to go? Hold on a minute. I'm just gonna switch to glue because then I don't have to wait. This is acid-free, but you have to work fast when you're doing such a big page. I could get out my tape runner. All right, there is that. Anyway, my father, I don't know what the deal is with him, but he decided we had a full-size turkey in his freezer in his garage, and he decided that it was driving him crazy. He's been reminding me now every day for like 3 weeks that I have this frozen turkey. And I'm like, I get it. I'll make it, because I always buy extra around Thanksgiving so that I'm gonna work on one page at a time. And he's just like, he's like, you got a turkey in the freezer, And so I finally baked a turkey on Halloween because he was going nuts. Okay, so there's 2 strips at the bottom, a strip here for your title, and a 4x6 photo, and then there's these decorative elements. So I pre-cut everything, and I'm going to go ahead and put these on. Now, I really like how the how this shiny paper looks on this page. This goes about 2 inches up, and I'm eyeballing it, right? I'm just eyeballing it. Like that. And this is, I don't know how long this is. 9 1/4 inches long. And then this one goes right under it, and I decided to do the green. And it goes right under it, kind of centered. Like that. Not perfectly straight, but close. And then for the title bar, I love this pattern right here. And the other side, I haven't used on anything really, but I really like this one. And it has a, really cool, texture to it, and it goes approximately maybe 1/2 inch above that, maybe not quite as that much, but pretty close. And then for my photo mat, it just calls for a photo on top. See, it's exactly 4x6, but I wanted a mat on mine, and so I'm just accenting it with that green. And you could do a brown if you prefer, but I really like how that green looks. And so it's hard to cover up this wood grain because it's cool. This is a great pattern. It's like this subtle kind of wood grain, and I really like it. And it touches this, and it would be exactly the same size, right? It would be identical in size, but because I cut it 1/4 inch larger, it's gonna hang over here a little bit. So mine is gonna alter from the pattern just a bit. And I'm gonna put this on. Now we have these decorative elements here. There's like 6 triangles, and I went ahead and hold on just a second. I remembered I have something I want to put underneath here. I'm going to pull that up just a little bit so I can tuck under when I'm ready. So I cut some triangles and I thought this, we'll just kind of lay these out. I like the leaves going vertical, not horizontal. So I like this leaf pattern. Now, if you don't like it, you could always flip it, right? So I'm just playing around, try to see what I think looks good. I like that. I could turn these around. I don't know what I want. I do like that though. Let me just try this way. It's pretty much the same, isn't it? Just kind of look and see which leaves I like best. I like that. I'm going to leave it like that. So I'm going to go ahead and put these down. Now, to make this even, it's a good idea to use some kind of ruler or something to make sure that you're vertical and that they're all on the same kind of line on the side. And so I like to use these big quilt style rulers. And the way the pattern works, this butts right up with the edge of this stripe right here. So you can, and it butts up, it's on the same line as this title bar. So I'm going to move mine over just a bit because well, hello everybody. Oh my gosh, I don't know what's going on with my internet service today, but it just cut me off all of a sudden. So this is part 2. And so here I am working on part 2. And basically what I said is that I am working on a 2-page scrapbook layout using this design right here, this sketch from Close to My Heart, and it's from their volume 5. And I have kind of made the left side of the page layout, and I'm going to go ahead and do a couple of flag ends on this side, and I'm gonna do that on this side also. And sorry for all that though. I think that our internet has been glitchy just a little bit today, which is rare. We don't usually have problems with that. But I really like how this looks, right? Let me get out some foam and put that on the back. I have my wagon wheel of foam that I'm going to use here. Okay. Anyway, thanks for watching me and thanks for coming back. It's so weird. I'll try to put this together when I put this up to YouTube. Now, here's the thing. I have those leaves that I had from the Prima flowers. These are from my stash. I have not a clue if these are still available or not, but I really like how they look. And I was trying to think of the best way to adhere them to my page because they're very wavery. You can see they're not flat at all. And I could use my liquid glue and glue them down. Or I could put foam underneath them, which is a possibility. But I think I'm going to go ahead and use my liquid glue, especially since they are made of paper. It seems like that works pretty well. And then I'm just going to take one of my blocks and lay it on top of these. Okay, these have like they're like molded or something. Just like that. Okay, I'm just gonna lay that on there and hopefully that will glue down while I work on the rest. Now, as part of my title, I really liked in this More Than Autumn, one of the options is You Had Me At. You can kind of see that at the top. You Had Me At. And I really like how that looks. And so I actually used several things from this set for this layout. And so I used that note paper die and I made this as a tab that will stick out here that I think You Had Me at Autumn. I think that will be really a great title. And then I wanted another tab or something in there with it. And I thought this color seems to be the going color on the page. And so I'm going to just go ahead and flag that a little bit and make another little tab up here. I like how that looks. And that way, that color gets kind of pulled in, you know, for that. And then the other thing, I want to put, I have some leaves here. I need some balance of the leaves. And so I was thinking, I really like the idea of putting some leaves up here. But I think it would look really nice to have a few here also. And so here I go with my, if this glue doesn't hold it, and I think it will be fine. But if for some reason it doesn't do the trick for me, I think that foam tape would work fabulous on that. So I'm just gonna put that there. And like that, that's pretty good. I'm gonna put that there. All right, so I have a couple of things that I've cut out. One of the things that I had in my stash are some of these little hearts. They are like just, I don't know, just die cut hearts. And they're made out of the chipboard. And I'm like, you know what? I need to use these up or get rid of them because it bothers me that I have so much of this little stuff everywhere. So I'm going to go ahead. I know there's glue squishing out there. Don't sweat that because it dries clear. It won't show. I try not to have it squoosh out, but it won't matter in the scheme of things. The other thing I have, you know, I told you I've been trying to use up all my circles that have been in my stash. And this is like a crumb cake type circle. And I just want to use these up. And so I am going to make a little grouping over here of hot cocoa. Now, I want to show you this mug I got from the gingerbread set. I know, isn't that crazy? But the gingerbread set has this adorable mug, and then this is actually the die for the sprinkles that I used. So I used this die, not the whipped cream die, because it fits that little mug so perfectly. Look how perfect that is. It's so cute. All right, let me find my dimensionals and stuff here. I want to pop this up just a little bit. I think it's super adorable, super duper adorable. And I'm going to put this here. I have the words hot cocoa that I cut out of that shiny metallic paper, and I have the marshmallows, and then I cut out a couple of leaves, some arrows, and a heart. So all of these are from the More Than Autumn and the Just a Note dies, because that little heart that's right there is so perfect. You'll see it on several places on my page. And so I'm going to put this, I'm going to put some marshmallows next to my mug, and I'm going to put a heart right there. If I can get a hold of it. I need to not use my fingers for everything, but I love how that looks. The little hot cocoa, the reason that I want to use it is I think that when I think of fall, sometimes what I do when it's kind of cool outside, Steve and I will get our coffee or cocoa and go for a walk and just talk through our day or whatever. And this is like part of our routine. It probably isn't everybody's routine, but you could do anything you wanted to in these little squares, you know what I mean? But I just think that's super cute. Look at that little hot cocoa. Love, You Had Me at Autumn. Now I have some arrows and I have a couple little baby leaves. These little baby leaves are from, I don't know where I got those from. Well, I thought they were from here. No, hold on. I'll think about it. I thought they were from the cocoa thing, but I just want to put them on the page where they show up well. And put that down. Isn't that cute? Oh my gosh. I think this is adorable. So while I'm, the arrows, I thought about putting some arrows like, you know, pointing down. You Had Me at Autumn. You know, like a little arrow towards the picture. I don't know whether I'm going to use that or not. So I'm going to pop those out of my plate and set them here. Now the other thing, the last thing I'll do is I will put on some dots. These are the Cajun Craze and Gold dots, which obviously have Cajun Craze and Gold. I think that's really great. I think dark brown would look really nice too, or even a little gold, but I don't want, I'm trying to not use so much gold on this one. Because I added orange, and so I really do like the idea of, you know, adding these little clips. And so I'm going to add that last. All right. After I get both pages done, I'll do that final thing, right? Okay, so there's the left page. I'm going to put it off to the side and grab in my right page. Now, let's talk about the right side. The right side of the sketch has a big photo mat at the top, which I matched from the other side with the green. Okay, and then it has three 3x3 photos underneath, and they're not matted. All of these are not matted, but I matted mine, and I don't tend to take good scenery type pictures that can be cropped down to 3x3. So I changed my sizes just a little bit to a 3x4 size, and these, I don't know, I think I got brown splatter on that one. Anyways, so I thought I'd go ahead and use that leaf print with these and put these side by side like that, right? And then this page also has that mimicked from the other side, the stripes that go across. So I'm going to grab in, now this stripe is a bit longer. This one is 10.5 and this one is 8.5. And so it will go out. I will use my ruler and try to make that as straight as even from page to page as possible. Sometimes I'm better at that than others. And then we have some triangles for this corner, which I will do last. So let's start with the stripes at the bottom because that helps us to line this up. And I'm gonna use my quilting ruler again, and I have the pages even, and then I'm going to put my quilting ruler down so that the stripe can be matched on here. So let me just put some adhesive on, and we are going to center it to the page. Once you have this page and this page lined up pretty close, you don't need the ruler for the rest because it all just sort of builds on top of the next piece. So we have our long stripe. Now we're going to do our next. And I really love how that looks. So these, I'm going to go ahead and put photo mats on. This one is upside down. I know a lot of people wouldn't notice, but I would notice. That's one of those like weird OCD things that I think it would drive me crazy. So I'm just putting my photo. Okay, y'all, I don't know what's happening. I checked my internet service and all I can think of is that, and my phone is working perfectly. Everything is fine. Makes no sense at all. So here's take 3. And here is the sketch that we're following. Here are the pages that we are finishing up. And my plan here is to basically just decorate this page and then we're done. So, I'm just like in shock. I'm like, why? So from that little Just a Note die set, I made a binder clip in the Timid Tiger color. And I decided to put it up here. And I'm not sure, I think, which side do I want to put it on? I'm not sure yet. And then down here in the corner, I'm going to do another leaf cluster. And I want to do a little pumpkin season thing here in the corner. I am honestly like, I don't know what's going on. I love this little pumpkin spice kind of frappuccino thing, and then I used some crumb cake and Timid Tiger, and I cut out 4 donuts, right? 2 in the crumb cake and 2 in the Timid Tiger, and then I just cut that up so that I could make like a little pumpkin season kind of thing. I have lots of little hearts, which I really like, and I have some pumpkin pie also from that More Than Autumn set right there. And I'm gonna put it up here. I'm not sure where, but I am gonna put it up here. I'm just like, what is happening with my internet today? It's so weird. And then I have the other side of that little leaf that I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. So let's go ahead and get this stuff glued down and get this done because, wow, I mean, seriously, what the heck is happening? So when I do this little binder clip, I want to be able to slide the photo underneath this little clip. So you got to be kind of careful about only gluing the top. And it looks like it's kind of sticking out a little bit, but once you put a photo behind it, you can adhere it down or tack it in one little place or something like that. No problem. So that's that. And then I'm going to put a couple of these on for this little pumpkin pie. The pumpkin pie I just stamped on like vanilla and colored. I just feel like this is the season for all of those really great foods that some of these foods you only eat this time of year, right? It's like such a kind of a unique kind of thing. So that's what I'm highlighting here. More of those crazy leaves. And those take a little time to dry. And I don't want to glue them where I have my photo necessarily. I don't want to put glue so that I can tuck my photos in underneath them. They may, like the photo might be just a little tiny bit there tucked in. All right. I have the word pumpkin. Now, one of the things that does drive me a little crazy about these words, they're so beautiful and they're so cool looking, but the little dots to the eyes, I can't remember what they're called. They're called like tildes or something like that. I can't remember. Somebody put it in the comments what that's called. But those little tittles, something like that, those little things drive me crazy, and they're so tiny. And when you when I die cut these, those little things stick to my mat, and I often miss them and scrape them into the garbage without even thinking. And so you really have to be like highly aware of the little dots to your eye. Or you could be like me and get out your gel pens and just make a dot. I mean, my goodness, right? And I really love, I told you I really love these little clips. And so I'm definitely adding these clips. Come on. They got a clip though. There we go. I'm adding these clips to my photos like this. I decided to add them to the bottom. These little tiny clips are from the Trick or Treat. It's called Sweet and Spooky, or Sweet and Spooky and Sweet, something like that. And I saved them because I didn't want to give them to all the trick-or-treaters. How lazy. I'm like, no, these are too good for you. And so I'm going to go ahead and add a clip over here also. I really like how that looks. And then I have the binder clip here. So each of the photos have a little clip. And I'm going to go ahead and glue this down now because I had kind of pulled it up. Let me push that down a second. Okay, so there is my 2-page layout. I just need to add some adhesive to, I love these little donuts. Oh my gosh, they're cute. I don't know why, but I feel like I am like making cards that are like just donut cards that are like just to make more of these. And you know what's cool about these too is that you can make them any color, you can make a whole bunch, you can do like different styles. So I'm putting foam on one half and glue on the other because I want them to have some dimension. And so let me show you what that does. So in the book, or in my book, it will be like popped up just a little. You can really see that dimension around those donuts. It's cool looking. And so, and then I need the same on my coffee drink. And since it's gonna overlap onto my popped up donut just a little bit right here, I don't need foam on this side. So I only really need to pop up part of this image, and then I'll put a little liquid glue on it to help hold it like to the donut that it overlaps. So I'm just gonna put that here. It's stuck down. And then I have a little liquid glue right here, so you can see that is stuck down. And then I think I might use one of the arrows because I think that's cute too. I like using a bunch of little parts that I cut out. Fun, so fun. All right, so what do I have left? I have a couple of hearts. I have some gems. Yeah, I'm gonna use the hearts. I think the hearts add to it. And I don't know if I'm going to use that other little leaf, but, and then I have a few gems. If I want to use those, I could add just a few here and there to accent what else I have going on. So I have like a trio here, trio here. I can put some around these leaves. I really like that they're different sizes, so you can make these what you want. You can use the large or the small like that. Oh, that's so pretty. And once the gems are on, I am done. It only took me 3 attempts to get through this video. What the heck? I'm so sorry about my, I don't know what happened there, but that is weird. I've never actually had that happen before. So, all right. And I think I'm going to add one tiny one down here with my hot cocoa. All right. So, close up of the pages. So cluster up here with my tabs and flags at the top. The title, You Had Me at Autumn. And then we have our hot cocoa. Just think if you had things like, if you were into football, if you were into any sports or anything, you could just make a montage of the month of November. You could make this a Thanksgiving layout. You could do this for, I love the binder clip. You could do this for like trees and just different things during the month that you do, places that you go. Look how beautiful that is. Those leaves glued down great. That is going to be awesome. And they're made of paper, so they squish, which is good for a scrapbook layout. All right. I apologize for the craziness of my videos today, and I will try to put them all together into one so that I can put it on YouTube for posterity, you know, be there forever. So Thank you so much for watching and sticking with me today. Bye-bye.